Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back. Another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Sunday, January 26th, except Sam's not here again. It's Cam this time. Welcome in, Cam. Thank you for joining.
Sure. I'm always happy to talk about them Celtics.
Absolutely. So short video today. I don't know when the last time like one of us had to get a replacement for a short video was. It's usually like full pods, but we're talking about Kristaps. Because after their win over the Mavs, he's basically asked about like how they have been able to, wear off some of the championship rust or the mentality that comes with defending a title. And he said, we were a lion last season, and some games this year we've looked like a house cat. We want to have that spirit as a team this year, and it's tough. Obviously, we can't trick ourselves and make it like it's the playoffs every game. It's tough. It's just human nature, but we know that we know the group that we have, and we know that we're going to bring it to the big games, but we need to bring it consistently and keep building on top of good wins like tonight. And I thought this was interesting because this isn't the first time Kristaps has sort of like called them out this season. After their loss to the Raptors, he was like, yeah, we played no personality. That was weak. And so it's very interesting to see Kristaps, who, in my opinion, is one of like the happiest, more generally like happy-go-lucky, optimistic guys on the team, consistently say like, yeah, hey guys, we're playing like shit right now. Like, what's going on? So I thought this was an interesting quote.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things. First of all, I agree with the read that Kristaps is like pretty unflappable. Like he's excitable when he's excitable. He's not like overly distraught. I think Jason and Jalen and Joe are like really media trained, and so you get a lot of like platitudes out of them. And when I heard the quote, do you have any family members who don't speak English as their first language, Jack?
I don't think so, no.
Because I do. Sometimes when you have people, like sometimes people translate like well-worn idioms from other languages into English, and you're just like, wow, I've never heard it put like that. So this could be like a thing people in Latvia say all the time, or it could be Kristaps just went off the jump and is comparing cats and lions, which incidentally is pretty well done. As a cat owner, sometimes people will be like, how did this cat come from a apex predator? And actually, it's not true. House cats come from like jungle cats and desert cats that are not apex predators. That's why they're always like hiding and stuff. Dogs come from apex predators. That's why they don't care about anything. So yeah, they need to get back playing like apex predators, not like house cats. So this is a short. I can't just like riff.
I mean, we talked for like 10 minutes. Do whatever you want. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, you know who's been playing like house cats lately? The Cleveland Cavaliers. Where's all the doomers for the 5-5 Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, man, it's so weird. Like the season's so frustrating in that way because like the Cleveland Cavaliers have lost 3 games in a row now, and the Celtics
They're
have only
5-5
lost
in the last 10.
I know, and the Celtics only lost 2 in a row once, and their their win differential or like plus minus differential is 9.4 to the Celtics 9, and yet everyone's like, oh my god, panic. And I think maybe that's a little bit warranted with the Thunder because the Thunder have been like historically dominant, and obviously they lost them this year, but I don't know, man. It's just Boston holds their teams to such a high standard that the conversation will always be weird. And we can listen to Kristaps say it too, just because like things can get taken out of context whenever you listen to things, when you just read a quote versus listening. So like this is what Kristaps like actually said when he said lion versus house cat, stuff like that.
We're like we're a lion last season, and like some games this year we've looked like a house cat, and like but we want to have that like that spirit as a team this year. And it's tough. Obviously, we can't like trick ourselves and make it like it's playoffs every game. Like it's tough. Just human nature. But
so I mean, he's obviously like smiling, but
it also sounded like maybe he thought of that line prior to the press conference. He was like excited when he got to use it. No, he's right. Like I think that's the problem with algorithmic NBA coverage, and like if you're on television needing to fill many hours of television every day, 6 days a week, is you just like you have to make mountains out of molehills. So like, yeah, the Celtics have been playing like house cats at times, but that doesn't mean like they're fundamentally different, right? Like what Justin Turpin just tweeted out, Drew Holiday is shooting 43% from 3 since he got back from injury. Maybe like 3 weeks of a regular season isn't a data set, and like you have to believe what you've seen in the past, not what's right in front of your eyes. So he like
yes,
and I think that's where like Joe has gotten frustrated. Like clearly Joe has lost his cool a little bit at times. And I
Hmm.
think he's frustrated that people are treating the last 10 games as an indictment of like everything they've ever accomplished or ever will accomplish, when that's obviously not how it works. But if you already are like inclined to dislike the part of your job that is talking to the media, it's going to get really frustrating. And for
Mhm.
us, if like we like, our job is kind of a feedback loop where like if it's in the zeitgeist, we have to kind of take it seriously. Like we talked about this with the Ben Simmons, or earlier in the season, Ben Simmons had the highest odds of going to the Celtics of any team. And it was like, that was an error on the part of a sports book, but for a week we had to talk about it seriously.
Yeah.
So it's just like this stupid content feedback loop where when the Celtics are bad, it's doom. And when they're good, it's like they're back on track. I hate to break it to you, like we actually don't know if the Celtics are house cats or lions right now, because
Mhm.
just because they won a couple of games doesn't mean it like erases the bad things they did. And when they play bad, it doesn't erase the good things that they do.
Yeah.
It's January.
Yeah, discourse is so weird because like I forget where I saw it. I was trying to find it and I can't find it. Someone on Blue Sky or Twitter or somewhere like screenshotted Derek White's recent shooting and was like, I think it's time to admit that we need to look at his career numbers instead of like his time with the
Yeah.
Celtics. I'm like, do we? Because he's been a 40% 3-point shooter for the last 3 seasons plus the playoffs. And you're saying we should look at the sample size from 4 years ago with a different basketball team as the actual demarcation line of what is like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think what you said is true. Like we don't know what the Celtics team actually is. I say it constantly to say I'm like, I'm not going to panic or judge or completely like make my opinion until the playoffs. Cause like, we've seen them do it in the playoffs,
Mhm.
and that's going to be a painful 2-3 months from now because we're going to just have to discuss this on and off anyways. But I think there's a good chance these guys are just championship hangover, need to get to turn it up in the playoffs because we've seen that they can turn it up. It's just they're not doing it consistently, and I believe that they will do it consistently in the playoffs. We just won't get to see that until the end of April. So it's weird to like discuss it from that point of view as well. But like
It just
it's yeah, go.
like once upon a time, it was your job on the radio or on television or in a newspaper column to be a hard ass. And you only got that job if you were a professional at it. So you could be like a professional hard ass, or at least an entertaining one. And now it's like, I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot because like my Twitter mentions yesterday were like people who are like, well, what you don't know is that they did this wrong. It's like, isn't this supposed to be entertainment? Like, it's not your job to analyze data around a basketball team. Like, just either it's say you're enjoying it or you're not enjoying it. But like, I don't know. We've like intellectualized sports into oblivion and such that like everyone has to have like a scientific analytical opinion. And it's like, you don't actually like, you could just say you're upset that they lost to the Lakers and move on. It doesn't have to be data. So that's been super frustrating to me. And also like, just use your fucking eyes. Like, can I swear? Sorry.
You can
Ja-
swear. We don't care. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want you to miss out on monetizing.
No.
Jalen Brown has been front rimming every other free throw for a month. He's not healthy. Like, if you've played basketball before, you just know that like when you are in your head, you miss rebounds deep and wide, and when you are tired, they're too flat. Like, it's just not a sexy narrative to be like, oh, they're a little tired, they're a little bored, and like maybe they're a little grumpy. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about it for a few weeks.
Mhm.
But it's also not sexy to go galaxy brain and like try to one up people with your like crazy advanced analytics about like why Drew Holiday is a
Yeah.
different stage of his career or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I don't think this lands for the How About Them Celtics listeners because they seem like they're a happy bunch, but I don't know. It's sports. Like, try to enjoy it, and when they lose, like, go have a Snickers bar or something. It's fine. Like,
I
it's
mean, I
fine.
tweeted it. I tweeted during the Mavs game, like when they got off to that rough start. It's such a like painful and not enjoyable thing to like contextualize because as people search for reasons, but like they're not going to win until they start scoring consistently. Like that's
Yeah,
just really just what it is. Like they've shot like shit for the past month, and their excuse me defense has been top 5 in the NBA over that span. What's the problem, people? And I'm not saying their defense has been perfect. Their defense has been bad at times. I think they lose focus. I think there are things they need to get better at, but if the numbers say the defense is good and the numbers say the offense is shit, and you can see them missing a bunch of shots, I wonder what the problem is. Like, yeah, put the circle in the circle hole, put the square in the square hole. Like, if it is there, it makes sense. It is what it is. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, it's not fun to like just make shots, because sometimes the shots just don't go in, and you want a more granular answer than that. But they went in against the Mavs.
Like,
look what happened.
Yeah, it's like football. Like, if that guy on the Ravens catches that 2-point conversion, they win the game. Like, if you score the goals, you hit the home runs, or you catch the catches, you win the game. Like, it's sports. Like, it's not. Anyways, do you like the lion analogy? Like, if you were to pick an animal from the animal kingdom, do you think? I wonder if Joe was recently talking about lions, and he kind of like incepted Kristaps. This is another theory that I could run with.
He does love the animal kingdom.
I mean, you know this. I talk about this all the time. As a teacher, like, I like to sit and pick Joe's brain, because I think we fundamentally have a very similar job, but I also love animals and animal documentaries. So I'd love to talk to him about, like, is it one time he watched a YouTube video about orca whales and he just ran with it? Or is it like, this dude is sincerely spending a lot of his free time watching Planet Earth and he knows what he's talking about? I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a fun quote. I enjoy hearing Kristaps be sort of a guy who will call them out, and I assume he's telling them this behind the scenes as well. I mean, I just made a TikTok on it, and so
how's your Photoshop game? Can you put a lion in a Kristaps jersey for the thumbnail for this?
Oh, hell no. It's not that good. I wish my Photoshop game was that good, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that, unfortunately.
Oh, come on. Believe in something.
Oh, I can try, but we'll see. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let us know what you think of the House Cats, of the Celtics, of anything you want. Comment down below. Thanks, Cam, for tuning in.
Wait, can I do one cat fact and then we'll stop?
Please do.
Cats can purr, but they can't roar. And big cats can roar, but they can't purr, because the same like bone in your throat that lets you purr, it needs to be slightly modified to roar. So big cats like tigers and lions can't purr. And then house cats and then like non-big cats like cheetahs and mountain lions can't roar, but they can purr. So that's the delineation between a big cat and a non-big cat, is the ability to purr versus roar. So the Celtics were purring recently, but Kristaps says they're back to roaring.
Well, hopefully they're back to roaring. They should be very soon. Interesting.
Like Katy Perry.
Yes, exactly like Katy Perry. Like I said, make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate it very much. Go listen to Celtics Lab. Go check out Cam's work, similar names, at Celtics Wire. Follow Cam on Twitter at @CTabatabai. You can follow me on Twitter at JacksonNBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.